In our last video, we did a walkthrough of the Army editor, the map editor, and the scenario editor, and we showed how easy it is to create armies, maps, and new battles for the General Staff Black Powder War game. We also showed how easy it is to change the style from modern to Victorian and back to Victorian. Today we're going to do the first actual gameplay walkthrough for General Staff Black Powder. And we start by clicking Start a New Simulation. And these are the scenarios that I've already created. And I can't wait for you guys to start creating your own scenarios. I would love to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of scenarios for you guys to play. So we're going to select Antietam. I'm going to command blue. Now, we talked about this a little bit in yesterday's video, the difference between the game mode and the simulation mode. Most of you guys I know want to play the simulation mode. This is the very detailed with complex formulas. We store leadership, quality, morale values, strength of the unit. We worry about all kinds of things, including giving orders and sending couriers. The game mode is a very simple simulation idea I had of just a simple introductory war game. But for now, you guys are interested in the simulation mode, that's what we're going to play. I've talked about this before. There's three kinds of fog of war. The complete fog of war, which is just what the commanding officer would see. Partial fog of war, and no fog of war. So we'll select partial. This number of orders that you can give per turn. This is a Kriegspiel rule that Andy told me about. I'm not really familiar with it, but we've set it up. I'm going to play with infinite orders and then play against the AI or a human opponent. We do not have play by email set up yet. We're going to be doing that through Steam. This is it. General Staff Black Powder, what we've all been waiting for. I apologize for the delay. Let's get started and take a look at it. First of all, over on the left-hand side, we have all the information you need to win the scenario or to lose the scenario. It has what the Red Army needs as far as victory points and units it must capture, and the same thing for the Blue Army. In the bottom, we have an elevation and a terrain readout. And as we pass over units that aren't ours, we only get limited information about them. The entire idea behind this simulation is to simulate 18th and 19th century commanding generals and how they dealt with the battle. It was with couriers and direct and indirect information, what they can see and the reports that they receive. So when we look at one of our own units, we get quite a bit more information. Now, the key thing is couriers. So for McClellan, this is the path that all the couriers will be taking from his headquarters to his subordinate commander's headquarters. And we calculate the time and the distance it will take to travel, and this is how long dispatches will be delayed and reports will be delayed. We also have the ability to give orders to entire corps at a time. For example, here is the First Corps. Now, we can see that Hooker's headquarters are 3.8 kilometers away from McClellan's headquarters. So that's going to take 22 minutes for a courier to deliver those messages, assuming he travels at 10.5 kilometers per hour. We can change that. And then we factor in the leadership values. That is to say, McClellan was a terrible general, and we gave him a leadership value of 37%. I talked about this in the blog post. And we gave Hooker a better but not a great general, a leadership value of 66%. And the combination of these two poor leaders adds another additional delay of 19 minutes to transmit an order. To give orders to individual units, you just move your cursor over them, hover it, and it'll display all the information you need about the unit. If you left click on the unit, that means you want to move in line formation. Right click means that you're going to be moving in column formation. I'll show you that in a second. So here we're moving, we're ordering the 1st Division to move into the Westwoods in line formation, pretty much historically accurate. And you just left click to show where you want them to go. You can cancel that. But the thing of it is you need to set the time for these orders, because as we stated earlier, it's going to take 56 minutes for the courier to go from McClellan to Hooker to Doubleday, plus the leadership delays. So what if we were to instead order that this movement happens at, let's say, 6, and we'll use 6 a.m. As the time that will issue a general assault along the line. So we just set our time here, and then we order it, and then we say, yep, looks good, and we select our courier. We're going to send the courier, and now we're on our report screen tab over here. And this is how we get information, how we give orders, and where we can look at previous orders and reports. Simply clicking on any previously given order or dispatch or report will demonstrate what that report did or that order did. So I've taken the liberty of running the Quatre Bras scenario because I wanted to show you some other kinds of movement that's applicable to this simulation, this scenario. Let's say we wanted to move this light cavalry unit on a far sweeping left flank maneuver. All we have to do is right click on the unit, and then right click where we want it to go. Let's say right here to this crossroads. And again, boom, there's our courier. We've dispatched it. Here's the path this unit's going to take. You notice how the program already knows how to find the shortest path. That's what I did my qualifying exam on. It's actually in grad school, it was least weighted path algorithm. So this is a subject I know all too well. Okay, so let's give some core orders now. So let's scroll down this list, this order of battle table basically, all the way down to the 3rd Cavalry Corps. And we're going to order this Cavalry Corps to move in column formation and take this village. And just like that, it automatically calculates the optimal path and cuts all the individual orders. Here, for example, is the order for what unit is this? Oh, the Brigade 11th Cavalry Division, General de Brigade Guiton, to move at 1520 in column formation, utilizing roads to Sarthe d'Am Aveline. I am so terrible in my French pronunciation. Please forgive me. So we're back at the Antietam scenario now. That's because I wanted to talk about combat resolution and the AI. So I intentionally took this one artillery unit and brought it way out front where it shouldn't be, simply so we can show how combat works. Now, remember, you're a commanding general. You're not ordering specific artillery units to fire. That's all handled by the AI, and that's calculated by leadership and closeness and accuracy, all these variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select end turn. As you can see, time has progressed. 20 minutes, which we set up in the scenario editor as a game turn, has advanced. But let's take a look at our reports now. All of a sudden, we click on the reports that have come in, and here's our first report. And this is an observation that we have seen that one of our artillery units is firing, as you can see. But at the same time, we are now observing that enemy artillery units are now firing on us. Again, we interact as the commanding general by issuing orders and receiving reports. This might be a good time to transition and talk about the artificial intelligence, which is a subject very near and dear to my heart. This is the AI editor, which actually doesn't edit AI at all. It just lets you look at what the AI is thinking. So this is how the AI sees the Battle of Antietam from the perspective of blue. These are the range of influence displayed in blue and red, the objectives for blue. The dashed lines are what we call minimum spanning tree, which is actually the way that the AI constructs frontages and lines and flanks and how it understands if it has open, exposed flanks or not. And this is, in plain English, exactly what the AI is thinking and how it comes to these conclusions. The little three dots is the logical symbol for therefore. So the way the AI works is it makes statements about the world in which it operates, statements which it knows to be 100% correct. And it builds on these statements. So by statement number 6, it concludes that it needs to aggressively attack victory points. It comes to this conclusion based on how many victory points it has, how many it needs. As it goes down, the important conclusions are in red here. The enemy will be on the defensive. It comes to that conclusion in statement 10. The enemy's flanks are anchored. This is an important conclusion, as we'll see elsewhere. It decides anything it says in COA, its course of action. These are actual orders being cut. The cavalry, it's holding in reserve. It's assigning battle group objectives. These are roughly equivalent of corps. This battle group is being assigned the Middle Bridge, the Dunkirk Church, Bloody Lane, the Middle Bridge, down here at Burnside's Bridge. Then it does detailed tactical analysis for each one of these attacks, so you can see. And then it begins to cut orders here, course of action. It's advancing artillery to this particular point to engage the enemy, controlling this choke point. It locates the choke points, and these two choke points, I'll show them to you here, are Burnside's Bridge. Very faintly you can see it's underneath the objective. It says choke point, and then this is an objective. And the same thing here with the Middle Bridge. It says choke point, and then there's an objective on top of that. So it locates these choke points, and then it orders up artillery to cover these choke points. And here's the AI analysis for Quatre Bras from the perspective of blue. And here's the detailed statement by statement analysis and tactical decision. So playing as blue, playing as Napoleon, it knows it has to aggressively attack. It knows the enemy will be on the defensive. But most importantly here in statement 21, it knows the enemy has an exposed flank. And it's assigning the cavalry to spearhead a flanking maneuver. And that is this yellow line. This is exactly what it's going to do. These are the other assignments for the other battle groups. A battle group is, it could be a corps, it could be a division. You can see what the battle groups are here. You can see they're numbered. Then it performs a detailed analysis of the actual attack plan. And then it locates the choke points. And there's a choke point right there. It moves up artillery usually to cover it. Yeah, there's the artillery. So now we're back in the game itself. General Staff, Black Powder. I wanted to give you guys a look under the hood, so to speak, of what the AI is doing and thinking and how it analyzes its position and its movement. Follow the blog for the most recent information and the updates on the release and getting betas of this on the blog. And thank you very much for your time.